Yeah, hi. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, guys. Yeah, you don't need
Uh,
to wait.
okay.
Mm.
Today we are learning about how these topics, how to be a technical recruiter, like introduction, what is US IT recruiter, why to become a US IT recruiter, software development history, and learn basic things about software engineering and software development. Um, First about how to become a technical recruiter. uh, a technical recruiter is a finding and hiring a talent
Yeah,
professionals.
I'll give one introduction, please, before we start it. Yeah,
Okay.
Tim. The thing is, here we have two kinds of recruitments. Yeah, one is technical recruitment, and the other one is non-technical recruitment. So there is like IT and non-IT recruitments, and main thing you have to know is basic rule is same for any kind of recruitment. Only thing is we have to be little subject knowledge in the area where you are trying to recruit. So simple example is like you say, for example, if you are recruiting for healthcare industry or if you are looking for a hospital or something. So you need to know what hospital is looking for and what kind of things a hospital need in a person like who they are working for them. So these are the kind of things like what a non-technical recruiter will be, and that will be subject matter. Right? You have to learn the subject. And a technical recruiter is like where we have like IT skill sets and all those things, where the recruiter should know a little bit of software development and how the software is developed, what are the terms in the software. So before we go into any kind of recruitment kind of thing, in the subsequent classes, we will be recommending you some terminology, what terminology you have to learn to become an expert in those areas. So as a recruiter, you have to talk those terms. You cannot go blindly and go say, I'm a recruiter, I'm looking for this position. You cannot go like that. So example is, if you're looking for healthcare sector, you have to learn a little bit about healthcare sector. What are the HIPAA compliance? What are the ICD-10 formats? Like, what are those basic things? You don't need to learn in depth of each and every topic. You just need to know what is the HIPAA compliance. What is the healthcare compliance? What are the kinds of certifications are there in healthcare? These are the kind of minimum basic knowledge you need to have before we talk to any person. If you don't speak those technical terminologies or technical words, basically, it's not like technical. It is like an subject knowledge words, basically. If you don't speak those kind of words, you cannot be in this market, and like another people knows this guy don't know what they're looking for. So these are the kind of things like what you'll be facing in your career. So what are the path you want to go, like as a technical recruiter or non-technical recruiter, or if you want to just hire for an industry like manufacturing industry or pharmaceutical industry, you just need to know those kind of terms. How you know those kind of terms? Simple thing. You go to that company, your whatever the company are going to work, and go into their website and read the content of their website. That is the first thing any recruiter has to start. Say, for example, you are looking for biomedical company or like Ready Labs or anything. So what you have to do, you have to go to Ready Labs website first thing, and you have to read the complete website and make list of points and list of words what they have in on their website. So like if they want to have like any kind of combustion kind of thing to make a medicine or a mixer or chemical mixers and those things, you have to and write down. You have to prepare a note. Those kind of you have to prepare a note so that when you talk to any person, you use these kind of words. So that is an example for hiring for pharmaceutical. Same thing for hospital. If you want to go into a hospital, you have to know what is the patient care and what is HIPAA compliance, what are the government compliance, what is the personal information, and there is called POI information, all those things. So PIO information. So these are all things like what you have to look into. So personal identifiable information. Many countries have call it different ways, like PII or PIO or whatever it is. So you have to learn those kind of terminologies. So when you're talking to a person, you have to ask the specific questions. Do you have any experience in HIPAA compliance? Do you have any experience in Healthcare Act? Those kind of things. So to know things, you have to have the subject knowledge. Same thing when it comes to IT. So when you're talking to an IT person, they have to ask like, did you do any Java development? What kind of development experience? I mean, like, experience you have? What kind of testing experience you have? What kind of methodologies you have? These are all the things like what a basic recruiter should understand and should know. That is must. It is not an optional thing. It's a must thing. So without knowing subject words, we cannot become a good recruiters. Plain and simple. Underline these words. Without subject knowledge, you cannot become a recruiter. So one way or another way, you definitely need to gain the subject knowledge. The mostly it will got subject matter experts. Subject matter experts are very in-depth knowledge, but you just need to have a knowledge on the subject. That's all. A few words. What does it mean? What is HIPAA complaints? Write it down like 5 to 6 lines in your notes. What is Healthcare Act? How many kinds of acts are there? What is PII means? Okay, these are things you have to make a notes. Then only you can be a recruiter. So today we'll be covering technical recruiter, which is technical recruiter. It will be IT recruiter basically. So that's what Vinay will be covering topics today. If anyone want a non-technical recruiter thing, like please let me know. I will take a separate session. And if you want to have any specific industry kind of training, let me know. I will look into those things and we'll add a class for it. But we'll be going with the technical recruitment. This is the highly in demand technical recruitment area. So this is the way, like, you can work from home. You can do many things with this skill set. But for rest of the skill sets, you definitely need to be in office, or those are the main requirements for it. But technical recruitment, you can be doing work from home jobs. Okay, so that's what we'll be covering in today's session. Just an introduction of technical recruitment. And if you need any specific industry specific things, please message me directly. I will take care of it. Thank you. Vinay, please go ahead, Vinay.
Yeah, how to be a technical recruiter? Introduction. Yeah, a technical recruiter is focused on finding a hiring talented professional for technology related positions. Like a technical recruiter is finding a correct candidate to hire to the client needs. And technical recruiter will involve in a software development process and in various technical roles. uh, this technical recruitment is a specialized hiring for a technical positions. You have to know what are the skills need for the positions, and he is a bridge between a companies and a client. And a technical recruiter is a combination of HR expertise to know technical to gain a technical knowledge and management. What is an US IT recruiter? US IT recruiter is responsible for sourcing, screening, interviewing the candidate to hire a client uh, companies in United States. The client needs means when the client is given some requirements, I have to know what are the skills need for client, and based on that client, he take the resumes from job boards, and he'll submit to the client. What is the roles and responsibilities mainly involved in the recruitment? Managing end-to-end recruitment process. It means from sourcing to candidate, onboarding the candidate. It is an end-to-end process. Understanding the job recruit requirement. First, we have to understand the requirement, what the client given to us, and sourcing the candidate. We have many job boards and social media platforms to source a candidate. Mainly, we are using some job boards like Monster, Dice, Career Builder, and we'll post the jobs, like social media, LinkedIn. and Instagram, Facebook, and screening and interviewing the candidates.
And we post on JobsHorn also. Yeah, that's what I get.
Yes, yes, we are posting jobs on also. Screening and interviewing the candidates. We'll take the resume from the job boards, or we'll get from some other social medias. Then we'll screen the resume compared to client requirement, and the requirement is good. We'll interviewing the candidate. It's called a primary interview. We'll schedule a primary interview and build up the candidate relationships. Uh, we'll once the candidate is shortlisted, we'll build up the candidate relationships for hiring process. And uh, key stakeholders in recruitment. First is recruiter, hiring manager, account manager, candidate, vendor, or client. Recruiter is mainly responsible for identifying and engaging with the candidates. It means he is coordinating with the candidate, identifying the correct candidate client needs, and hiring manager is responsible for requirements, taking the requirements from the clients and select the candidates. Account manager is he's build up a relation between client needs, uh, candidate. What is it? Who is candidate? Means he is who is seeking for a job with our relevant skills. And vendor. Vendor is nothing but a client who is given a requirement to us, and uh, why to become a recruiter. Firstly, why to become a recruiter? It's a passion to help a companies and jobless candidates to get a jobs and settled in a new career. Uh, Recruiter will earn more than a salary. He'll earn a commission basis and development opportunities. He based on nowadays he'll build a relationship with the colleagues, and he'll learn many things from the colleagues uh, about skills, transferable skills. Recruiter gain many type of skills and industries. By the way, one software developer will know what is software development, what are the require skills for software developer. But a recruiter know all types of skills, software skills, and front end, back end skills, DevOps skills. He'll know all the skills, subject matter expertise, like what we have said. He know the all the skills, and he is a subject matter expert in all type of skills and recruitment as well. It is a meaningful impact job as a recruiter to help a candidates, and recruiter will build up a good communication to coordinate with a candidate and companies. At the same time management, recruiter will manage his time because he'll get multiple type of requirements and multiple candidates. He have to manage all the things in the same time. Mm, and active listening. Recruiter must have active listening skill, because he has to listen both the client requirement and candidate needs uh, to place a candidate. I mean, to onboard a candidate. Confidence. Recruiter must have a confidence on his job to place a correct candidate to a client. And benefits on becoming recruiter. What are all the benefits to become on become a recruiter? Firstly, he'll develop the skills, and he'll develop a strong communication skills and negotiation skills, and he is a proficient in Microsoft Office, and organize it, critical thinking skills, and learn about recruiting. Recruiting is nothing but and earlier we have said that sourcing, interviewing candidates, in this technical industry, gain experience, where from starting to now we'll gain experience uh, in IT industry as well. and recruiting field as well, and client needs as well. Networking, will build up, you know the recruiter build a strong network in social medias and job boards and IT professionals to find a candidates, and you know he has a, we all know LinkedIn. He'll build many connections, and if a client get a new requirement, means we'll go to our LinkedIn connections. We'll easily find a candidate, and we'll submit to the client. Like we'll build up a network, and it is a easy way to um, board a candidate. And the success, will it is a very impact on when we have got a number of placements, then we'll get a success. Stay competitive. It's one of a competitive job in IT industry. Like any market down, but IT market grown up every day. Requirements will comes every day. So recruiter must have a recruiter. uh, History of software development. By the way, why this is important to a recruiter? Software development, why important to a recruiter? Understanding candidate background, recognizing technology evolution pattern, match the candidate to appropriate roles, speak confidently with hiring manager, identify valuable legacy skills. Uh, like in 90s 50s to 1960s, uh, the software development as foundation started in these 10 years, 1950s to 1960s. In this, what is the main important to a recruiter? Programming languages, mainframe era, IBM domain, punch card programming. These are developed in 1950s to 1960s. Some of non-government, I mean government sectors and bank sectors nowadays also used old type of programming like language like COBOL. And in 1970s, uh, C programming languages are created, Unix operating system were implemented. Both birth of Microsoft and Apple. Microsoft and Apple were invented in 1970s. C programming languages, mainly senior developers are used C programming languages. And 90s 80s PC revolution, I mean PC was started in 1970s. DOS, disk operating systems, and Windows were invented in 1970s, 1980s, sorry. C++ also introduced in 1980s. Rise of software packages, I mean when compared to before 1980s, the packages were also increased for software developers and engineers all. And beginning of geographical user interface. Mm, in 1990s, the internet age, mainly World Wide Web were created in 1990s. Java also introduced, Microsoft, .NET, PHP, JavaScript. These are all introduced in 1990. Um, in 2000, web 2.0 and mobile was firstly introduced in 2000s. Like mobile development begins in 2010, the developed in 2010, but begins in 2000. Cloud computing emerges in 2000. Agile methodology, full stack development will important in 2010 will like cloud era. And mobiles are in developed in 2010. DevOps, microservices architectures, big data technologies. In this cloud certifications like AWS, Azure, GCP, cloud, Azure, these are developed in 2010. And 2020, current artificial intelligence, machine learning were invented nowadays. So we have all the robots like that invented in 2020. Remote development tools, now we are mostly used in artificial intelligence. Uh, Key technologies stacks to know. What are the technologies we have to know? Front end and back end technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Angular, TypeScript, and back end like Java, Python, Node.js, .NET, PHP, SQL database for key technologies. What are screening tips for recruiter? What are the screening? Match the technology timeline with the experience. We have to match the technology based on the experience. What type of technology needs for the client? We have to merge with the experience of the candidate. Look for a progression in skills. When candidate starting stage to now, what are the skills he has increased, and verify the certification. What are the types of certifications he got? uh, and check the complementary skills. What are all the skills they need? I mean, they had and understanding full stack versus specialized roles. Best practices for technical recruitment. Uh, updates in the technology trends. I mean, day-to-day life, we got many technologies. We have to update those technologies. We have to learn those technologies, build up relationships with technical communities. Like we have to build up technical guys. We have to build up we have to build up relationship with those guys. Understanding company tech stacks needs, what the client needs, what type of client guys what type of candidates client needs. We have to understand, maintain the technical terminology guide, and network with the senior developers. We have to build up a network with the senior developers. Learn the basics about software engineering. What are all the basic things we have to learn? I mean, our recruiter have to learn about software engineering. You have to know about a programming languages, C, C plus, Java. Like we have to know programming languages and software design. I mean,
One more thing is like you have to learn list of programming languages. That's why you don't need to learn any programming. You just
yes,
need to know what are the list of programming languages out there. That's all.
yes, we have to
That's
learn
it.
what are the designing skills. uh, we have to learn about, I mean, SDLC, software development life cycle, or first stage to last stage. I mean, from planning to developing, like involved in planning, developing, and the testing, and releasing. These are the development skills in SDL. I mean, software development skills. Software process. We have briefly know about software process. What are the required engineering requirements or tech team requirements like that, and software testing. Uh, Once designing completed, then software tester will test the thing, and they will release uh, basic things. What are the tester needs? Basic things we have to learn. And data structure and cloud computing, like cloud computing, AWS, uh, Azure. Like we have to know those skills, not about deeply. What are the skills for them, and other skills that engineers need, like is critical thinking, problem solving, communication, collaborating with team, and managing with the team, organization skills, and these type of skills. uh, and a software engineer also work with many industries, like not only in technical industries, some financial, healthcare, and entertainment industries as well. What is the software development? uh, for software development is nothing but a creating, designing, testing, and maintaining the software programs and applications. Like once the first a software developer created an app is there. First he'll create the app and he design, and he'll forward to the testing team, and maintaining the software programs and released in market like this. It is nothing but a software development. These type of phases following the software development, like planning and requirement. We have to learn not only for software development, uh, what the recruiter need to know about software development, planning and requirement. When the client is sending a requirement, we have to see the requirement. We have to plan the requirement, what the purpose, what the client needs, and based on that, we have to design our work and implementation. Then software is implemented, testing. Once the test implementation is completed, testing team will deleted test and delete the bugs and any errors is there. uh, they'll send to the customer requirement, developing and maintenance. Then finally, the software is developed and maintained. And software development is you know software development is involves in many professionals, programmers, testers, document writer, geographical users. It is all mm, about software development, and this is all about basic things that a recruiter learn about software development and IT recruiting, and basics about software engineering.
Yeah. Uh, Thanks, Vinay. Thanks for the session. And team, I'll go through more detail on the SDLC process. Before we go through that, do you have any questions till now? You can type in your questions, or you can unmute yourself and ask your questions. If you don't have your questions, we will go in the SDLC process detail.
So can we get this PPT on a WhatsApp group
What is that?
possible? The slides which you are showing, can we get in the WhatsApp group as well?
We'll provide the recording.
All right, all right. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Any other questions, guys? Okay.
Balaji, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So we have you're uploading the recording on YouTube, right?
Yes.
So if we need to go through the recordings, we have to go to YouTube and check.
I mean, for everyone's convenience, I'm uploading into YouTube.
Okay.
So they don't need to look for links or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yep. Any questions you can always ask me, or you can put in the comments out there. We can answer in the comments also in the YouTube. Because we don't know where all the people are joining from, all the demography. I don't know who are all joining. I'll be creating a Google form to collect the information to provide access to the system, so that you guys can start job posting and learning and all those things. But before that, I'll create a Google form for you guys to send me the details. So that way I know people from where all they are joining, and whom I can give access to the system. Because what are the theory we are showing here, once you do the practice only, you'll get better understanding how to post a job, how to analyze a requirement, and all those things. Okay. So until then, we have to go through this process only. And you guys have to familiarize on all these terminologies basically, and then only you can you can understand subsequent topics basically. If you don't understand what a recruiter has to learn, you have to stop here, take a practice, read it multiple times, and then go through it. So that's what I recommend. If you want to, you can continue listening everything, but if to practice it, you need to spend some time to practice all these things. Okay, what is my path? What kind of recruiter I want to become? So answer these kind of questions. I'll give a set of questions to you uh, to make yourself much easier to understand this process. So before you get into a recruitment career, so you need to ask can I fit into a recruitment career? That is the first question you need to answer. Second thing is, how am I going to excel my skills in the recruitment? What I need to learn to be a recruiter. Okay, these are the things like that. These three things, if you answer it, and fourth thing is like what kind of recruiter you want to become. Either you want to be a technical recruiter or non-technical recruiter. So these are things like which you can write down the questions, but you may not be able to answer the last question at this point of time. But the first three questions you should be able to write it down and answer yourself. But the last one in the mid of the session, training sessions, you should be able to figure out you'll be a technical recruiter or non-technical recruiter. So that's the thing. And other thing is like yeah, Vinay, let's go to the SDLC process, and we'll show the jobs on website, and I'll explain you how to do the planning and all those things. I'll explain those things so that you guys can understand it. Yeah, when I go to that SDLC slide, I think it's 15th or which slide it is.
Basics about software.
No, the SDLC, software design lifecycle, right? Yeah.
Yes.
No, not this
History
one.
of there is a history of software development.
No, I'm looking for SDLC process. Like you showed the SDLC, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Let's do one thing, guys. Like here, let's stop here and let's share the job. Open the jobs on website. I will explain what to do in the SDLC process. Yeah, share your browser and open the jobs on website, Vinay. Right now, only PPT window is. Yeah, team. Before guys, before we go into SDLC process, okay, why SDLC process came into picture? Okay, so I'll explain a little brief about it. The reason SDLC was designed is before the SDLC process, everyone used to do their own kind of development. See, one thing I have to explain to you is for any company, process is the thing that defines the quality of the product. So if there is no process in any company, that means the product, the output of the output will be unpredictable. So the any result, it will be unpredictable. Simple example is, say for example, Ready Labs or anyone, okay, if they have the set of process how to make a medicine, so they know once you mix all these chemicals, like then the medicine will be, the output will be the proper medicine. See, people who are faking the medicine, okay, they don't have any process. They know is like how to do the chemical formula, how to mix and everything. But ultimately, the potency of the medicine is consistent at the Ready Lab, and who are faking it, like who are creating fake medicines. They use the same kind of chemicals, but the output product is, it looks similar, but the potency is not the same. So that is a simple example because I took this example because everyone can understand it. So that is the process. What any company has to define it. So once the process is defined, the output by following the process, output is same. Output will never change. Just like if you practice like a cricket or anything, if you practice multiple times and you know the set of things like where I bowl, where I can spin the ball, and all those things, these are things which you practice and you put in everything in a practice and procedures in that. So main thing without these procedures, companies were failing and they were investing a lot of money in the IT development. So later on, like in all the companies, they came up with this, like some big companies, like they came up with this idea. So the reason of failure is like we don't have any set defined process. So once we have a set defined process, then we can have any kind of development can be done easily. So simple example is for building a jobs on website like this one. So what we have to do first thing, so it's a building just like building a house. It's the same example. Okay. So to build a website like this, we need to plan it first. How my website has to look. So you have to write a set of questions. How my website has to look. What technical skills I need to use. Either I need to use Java, I need to use .NET, I need to use React.js, Node.js. These are all the technical terms. Like, don't confuse with this. I mean, don't get fear with this. You will be learning in subsequent classes and how to get the familiarity on these words. And you have to do more research also. We'll share you more websites in the group where you can go see the list of technical skills and all those things. So here the thing is like now, right now I have an idea how to build a website. That is called initiation. After initiation, I'll do the planning. Okay, what technologies I have to do, what database, like what is the middleware, and how many developers I need, and these are all called planning. How many testers I need, this is called planning. So once I plan it, I'll give them idea, and to the developers, they'll start developing. So now in SDLC process, it is called software design lifecycle. We planned it. Initiation has done. All the budget and everything is done. Now planning is done. How we want to develop it. The second stage we have to do is we have to involve the developers, and at the same time we have to involve the business analyst also. Now we are calling them as Scrum Masters. Before it used to be business analyst. So listen to me, my words, guys. Like, we are using Scrum Master, we are using business analyst, we are using developers, we are doing planning, and all these are all things are the key words which you have to understand, which you have to learn. So that is why I'm putting in all these words, which you can understand, which you have to make a note and practice on in your day-to-day life. I mean, like in day-to-day learning things. So now we want to have involve the developers. In development also, there will be people who will develop only the whatever the jobs on website you are seeing. There will be people who will be developing this page. They are called front-end developers. And to get this data, there will be another layer called Java layer, which is called middleware. Okay, it's called application layer. So now you learned about front end, which is what you are seeing. The second layer is application layer, which is Java side or .NET. It could be any technology. So the application layer will serve the data what you are seeing, but UI will just present the data what they received it. That's all. And the third layer is database layer. So there are three layers like which you have to understand for any application. What is the front end? What is the application layer? What is database? So understand these three things, guys. Like for any website, for any product to work, these are the three layers that you have to understand. So when we involve the developers, we have to know how many front-end developers has to be there, how many back-end developers, which is application layer developers has to be there, and how many database developers has to be. So in the planning, we already did like we need two front-end developers, one application developer, and one database developer. So we need 4 developers to do it. And there is another thing called testing team. So to test all these product, we need at least 4 testers for this one. So we always need more testers than developers because testing takes a lot of time. So that is what the initial planning has to be. And there will be one project manager, and there will be project lead, and there will be scrum master. See, once you record and listen to this recording, you can note it down all these terminologies. Project manager, project lead, scrum master, and all those ones. So earlier we used to call scrum master. Now, I mean, like now it is scrum master. Really, earlier we used to call it business analyst. So these are the kind of terminologies which you have to understand. This is where the technical recruiter will be functioning. So if company says, I want to hire a front-end developer, you need to know you just need to know list of front-end technologies. You don't need to know details about it. All you have to know is how many front-end technology. There is .NET front-end, there is Java front-end, there is React, Node.js, there is Angular, there are like Vue.js, there are many list of things are there. So you need to know only the list of those technologies. You don't need to know any details about it. So when you're preparing a notes, all you have to do is Okay, when you're React developer, what is a React development? What is Next.js? You just need to write 1 or 2 lines of each and every technology. So then only you get like familiarity of it. Like, the more you use it, the more you write it down, you get more familiarity on this one. So now we involved developers. So developers developed all these things. Okay, the entire whatever you're looking at it, the developers has developed this page. Now testers will come and now testing team has to be involved. Testing team, they will be involved here and they will be testing the entire page. If you scroll down, Vinay, like now we want to see like everything on this page. So how the testing is done. Okay, what are the functionality? If you see, like now, if you scroll it, only the first column will be scrolling first. Then the second column will be scrolling. This is all part of the planning, designing. Okay, so all this planning and designing is done. So testing team will go through the planning and make sure the product output is same as per the requirements. Okay, so you have to understand project requirements. So these are word you have to remember. So project requirements, project design, project planning, these are all the things like what we'll be doing to develop a product like this. So now testing team has tested thoroughly and they made sure, if scroll down, Vinay, like there will be footer at the bottom, there will be heading. What you are seeing on the top is a header. What you'll see at the bottom, very bottom is the footer. So those are all things like are tested as per the requirements. They match to each point to point, just like you're building a house. You want a main hall, you want a 2 bedroom, you want a bathroom, you want to be open bathroom, like you want to see kitchen, all these things. It, everything, who does the quality, ultimately you approve it because that is what your requirement is when you're building a house. Same thing here. Product is developed, testers are doing testing. Who has to approve it? Product owner has to approve it. Remember this one, product owner is the ultimate person who will approve that, okay, my product is ready as per my specifications. That is called project requirement. So the product owner will certify everything, okay, approve it. Okay, my product is looking good. We can move to next level. What is next level? Right until now, we developed the product. Now we want to check the thorough quality analysis. So QA team, that is where testing team and other QA team will be there. In the testing team itself, there will be two parts of team will be there. One is quality control, quality assurance. Other one is normal testing team. So normal testing team will be like they will be doing high level of testing and everything. Quality QA, complete QA team, quality assurance team will be really looking into the product, how the product is looking in the production, what scenarios has been executing. These are all called test planning. Like just like SDLC, there is called SDLC, which is software testing life cycle. So when you see SDLC, it has the same kind of functionality like a software development. Okay, we'll go in that in detail. Like I don't want to bombard with the entire information together today itself. So once we do the testing and everything, the next thing is final product review. After testing the product in QA level, which is quality assurance level. So we did in the development level, everything is fine. Now we move to QA level called quality assurance. Everything is looking good. Now we are planning it for production movement. So production movement is what the site you are seeing is JobsHorn.com is a live site. It's a production site where everyone can use it. So to get into this level, okay, you need to pass all these stages. Without passing all these stages, you cannot directly build a product. So now the final deployment process is there, which is a production go live. We will call it as go live date or production deployment date. There multiple names for the same thing. So now what we have to do, we have to move from QA environment to production region. So we have to set up the entire region that is called production planning it is. So production planning team will do all the planning, create the servers and everything. We'll move from QA to production. So once it is there in production, again the QA team will go and make sure production is working fine, just like the way they tested in the QA region. So once it approved by the QA team that everything is fine in production, then they will be opening to public, and they will be notifying public, okay, our site has been updated, our site has been modified, it's ready for public use. So these are the kind of things like what a recruiter has to understand. How many uh, how many different ways are there? What are the technical terms? And how many different kinds of skill set are out there? So you have to understand all these things in order to get to know SDLC process, and even to talk to other developer. You cannot go and say, what kind of websites you have developed? Can you tell me? You cannot go and ask like that. But that sounds like more silly. If a recruiter doesn't have knowledge in what they're talking, the other guy will say, this recruiter doesn't know what they're talking about and they don't know what their company need. So company will give you a very specific example. Okay. Yeah. Scroll down to any Sohan IT requirement or any requirement is fine. Vinay? Yeah. Open the full, yeah, this one. Yeah. So this one, like, if you see, we are this Sohan IT company is looking for full stack Java with React development. So here I'll give an example, this one, like just a brief example. I don't want to go in depth today. So React is a front end skill. Full stack Java is an application layer. Okay. So this is the kind of thing what you have to understand. Like, what you have to do is go to jobson.com, read all these requirements. You should make out at least what it is. See, in this case, I'll explain you how to read this requirement first. I don't want to explain in detail, but I'll explain you how to read this requirement first, so that you will not be overwhelmed with the information. So it is continuous learning process. It is. See here. First thing, you have to learn the job title. What is senior full stack Java and React developer? Okay. That means this is a job title what they are looking for, both front end and the back end application development. So then you have to see what is the company name, what is the location, what type of hiring, it's urgent hiring or what type of it is, and job it is posted. And you can do all these icons, you can explore on your own, sharing, copying, saving, and apply icons. And compensation is like depends on experience. They didn't keep the compensation exactly, but they gave it as depends on experience. Now, if we come to the next one, it's a HTML, Java development, or REST API. They're asking technical skills here. So they want a HTML person who knows HTML and who knows Java and who knows REST API. So what you have to do in this case is you have to write down what is HTML, what is Java development, what is REST API. So in your notes, you have to make a note of this one, so that in the future when you see, okay, HTML, okay, I have to go back to the technical list and see what HTML does, what Java does, what REST API does. All you have to do is just 2 or 3 lines. You don't need to learn like entire whole thing. Okay, Java is back end and front end development technology. That's all you have to know. HTML, hypertext markup language. It's used for only web browsers, not any place else. It is for front end development. REST API. REST API means it's just a communication between front end and the application layer. That is a method of communication. So REST API means you have to just write it's a communication between front end and the application layer. That's all you have to write. Nothing else. If you write too much, you will get confused. So that's only 1 line or 2 line things you have to write it down and go through that. Yeah, scroll down by here in the job description. Yeah. So now we have to see, like, we have to job overview. You have to understand, like, where it is and everything. Is it what department, like, what they are asking in detail here. You can read, it's a self-reading thing, job description. So what they are asking, like I told you, right, technical lead, development and maintenance and all these kind of things are technical terms which you have to understand. So who is called the team lead, who is project management, who is a developer. These are the things like what you have to write it down in your notes. And specific duties, like the top one is description. The specific duties is where the client we have to emphasize like what they are asking. So if we don't understand what they are asking, we don't know what kind of resources we have to find. Okay, so that is the main thing, guys, like which you have to understand. Specific duties, what exactly developer has to know in order to hire that developer. As a recruiter, you always have to think what is my client asking, or what is my company need, and what I have to find in the resources. Say for example, a simple example. Okay, there are like multiple developers, right? Like there is .NET developer. Right now we are asking for Java developer here. Some developers, they don't even look at the job, they just blindly keep on applying. There could be accidentally applying, or there could be keep on bombarding with resumes to everyone so that they will get one interview at least. So there are multiple types of job applicants will be there. When it comes to you, you get all kinds of developer resumes. Even non-developer resumes also sometimes you get. How you search or how you find, say for example, you got 10 applicants. And in the 10 applicants, you have to see who exactly fit to your technology, who exactly fit your requirement. So in the top, you had like HTML, Java, and React, right? And REST API. So you have to list out these 4 technologies and search for those 4 technologies in the all 10 resumes. So now you understand like what my client is looking for. Okay, they are looking for React and all those development skills, technologies. Do we have the same technologies in the resumes I received? On the 10 applications, you look at it. And then you figure out, okay, who has all these 4 technologies? If those 4 technologies are matching in only 5 resumes, among 10 resumes, you have only 5 qualified resumes for your hiring needs. This is the main thing you have to understand. You should not take all these 10 resumes and go to your manager or to go to your client. In the 10 resumes, you have to figure out how many resumes are matching exactly for your needs. In this case, you are having matching only 5 resumes here. But you can go to manager with only 2 resumes because who are well qualified in that. So next thing you look at is what is the experience, how much, what is the package they are asking, and all those things. So you talk to the 5 people and you make sure, okay, my client is looking for $70 an hour or $65 an hour. If someone is asking like I want $90 an hour, you cannot go and submit them because what they are asking and what money you have doesn't match. So you have to look at money matching the next level. So I don't want to go into those detail levels. So that is where like complexity will add. But in those 5 people, I'll very briefly, in the 5 people, you have to figure out 2 or 3 people who are immediately available, who matches for your payment term, term and payment money. You represent only 2 or 3 resumes to your manager so that your manager will make a decision. Okay, among these 3 people, who will be the best candidates to go to the client? Or if 3 are good, we'll go to the client and say, like, I have found 3 candidates, 3 good candidates. Can you interview them? So these are the things like what a recruiter has to understand in the basic things. How I can match my job applicants to the requirement. That is the first thing. So when you get time, go through the JobsHorn.com. Don't do extra reading. Read all the requirements. That will be your assignment for today. So we are not giving any slip test or nothing like today. No Q&A. This is like more reading kind of thing. So you go to JobsHorn.com and read as much requirements as possible. Open a document, Word document or anything. Note it down. List out all your questions. You can ask all the questions in tomorrow. Like when you're copying anything, if you have, say, for example, if you're analyzing this full stack Java React developer, okay. If you have any questions, all you have to do is copy the URL here. Like if there is an after the share functionality, there is a copy URL functionality, right? So just to copy it, when I point them to the copy icon there, like after the share, it is like that is an after the share icon. The next one is copy icon, or you can see apply now is there. The second icon from the apply now is copy icon. You can copy that URL, paste it in your Word document, list out all your questions on the what you have under that requirement. Go through that multiple requirements like that. So as a recruiter, you have to do more reading initially. Without doing more reading, no one can become a recruiter. Okay, so this is about basics about recruitment, guys. Like we don't want to bombard all the information today, and I think we taught you enough for today as an introduction. One way is like we don't want to scare you, and we want to retain you in the training session, and share the same knowledge at the same time. I mean, uh, I think we did a good job, I think, today. And if you have any questions, like we are open to answers, and let us know.
I have a question, Balaji.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So the one which you're showing, it's already a posted job, right?
Yes.
Can you show us how a requirement looks like when it comes from the client? So when we get a requirement from the client, a recruiter
Yeah,
will go through.
that's what subsequent classes though. That's what will be doing. I don't want to show everything at today itself so that you will get confused. So first thing is you have to read what the requirements are posted here. What is the requirement? So if you read the requirement first, okay, whatever you get it from the client, it will be in the same information in different format. That's all.
Okay.
There could be more information like what is the pay, what is that, what company will get, if there are any certifications needed, and there will be different format but same information.
Got it.
Just like you receive a email, right? Like you receive the email, whatever email you receive, we format it here or we format and put in a job posting. That's all. There could be some other screening questions or like what questions you need to ask before you submit it, and those kind of things will be there in the client requirement. Say, for example, the additional information will be, is the candidate local to my location? Okay, if you are hiring for any Chennai or Mumbai locations, they look for, okay, I want people who are already in Chennai or already in Mumbai. I don't want someone who will be relocating from Hyderabad to Chennai or Hyderabad to Mumbai or like anything. They want local people. That will be first requirement and additional information. And that's why we put it, sometimes we put it only locals only. Okay, and that will be additional thing. And second thing will be, are they willing to relocate immediately? So these are the only type of few extra questions will be there, which will not be in this one. But because we cannot keep everything in the requirement, so we want applicants to apply for it, and then we'll select from the applicants list. Yeah, in subsequent classes, that's what we'll train you, how you get the requirement, how you put into format template, and then you post into any job site. So without you prepare a template, internal template, we'll show you the template also. If you don't format everything into your standard template, you'll get confused for every single requirement. So whatever the client, like we'll have like hundreds of clients, everyone will be sending an email to you. Okay, each client template is different. You cannot use the same template to post into a job. But what any company will do is they will have a Word document template. They will copy paste all the information to the Word document template. They'll proofread it. Okay, this is what client is looking for. Then you go and do the next stage will be we'll go and post in all the job sites. Otherwise, our internal recruiter itself cannot understand what client has asked it. So a senior recruiter will be doing all this formatting initially. And once a junior becomes senior, they'll do the same thing. But if you give the same template to a new junior recruiter, they'll get confused. What is this? Like, there's a hell lot of information what I know don't need. Okay, we'll definitely show those details. Yeah. Any other question, guys?
How does this work for people like, onshore and offshore? So these roles are good for people in US also, or like these are only for Indian folks?
What we are training is good for any kind of industry. India or US, it doesn't matter. We are calling a US IT recruiter. In India, it will be IT recruiter only. If you are looking for jobs in India only, it will be IT recruiter. If you are working for an American-based company, it will be US IT recruiter. Job title is different. Job details and job duties are same. But you need to have some extra knowledge on the about US timings and US work authorizations and all those things. That is what we will be teaching here.
Okay.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, team. If no questions, we'll wrap the session for today. And have a nice day, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Vinay and Anil. Thanks for the good session. And team, like if you want to make any changes to the sessions or the subsequent things, like the subsequent sessions, please give us the feedback, like what we need to update, and so that we can modify the pattern of subsequent classes. Okay. Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Balaji.